Welcome to DCP TALKS. I'm Stephen Candace, and this is my podcast. So everything will be featured on my website, which will be www.authorstephencandace.com. You got to check things out. This year we are talking about, this is season 2, week 3. We're talking about things that make us go home. There's a lot of things that make us go home out here, man. You can check out my podcast on my website, www.authorstephencandace.com. You can find all the information out there that you need. We would discuss my books. I have wrote 58 books. So therefore, there is a lot of books in every style there is. We're talking about horror. We're talking about crime. We're talking about drama. We're talking about romance. Man, we're talking about self-help. We're talking about so many different books there is. So let's enjoy our lives and everything around us, and everything will fall into place. I know it will, and so do you. Today we're going to talk about even my Audible books. Man, I got 24 Audible books out there. When you got 24 Audible books, you got a lot of variety and a lot of things, baby. People ask, why do you do variety? Why do you do Audible books? Number one, variety. Variety is the spice of life. It sure is not sticking to one. And I get why people do. I'm not holding you back for it, baby. Do it and do it well. That's the key. I write very many styles, even in Audible. But I do have 2 styles right here, baby. I have The Dark Path right there, Kirby McGraw, and I also have A Father's Love, a romance, baby, right there. Dak Connor, right there. Audibles. Why not? You can get them when you're driving, get them when you're vacuuming, walking, walk the dogs, holding hands with your baby. Put one ear set in front of the other set. Why not? I think that sounds pretty cool to me, man. I think I should try that shit. Now, we will discuss the why factors in everything we do. See, in everything we do, we will discuss the why factors because it's been here since the beginning of time. And people are caught into that unbalanced scale of making stupid choices or making the right decision, hoping it's good. That's all I know. Now, let's keep everything around us cool. And that shit will all fall into place. Now, we're going to talk to who we talked to last week. But today, he just sent some questions in. Mr. Steak Filet from New York. Okay? And what he was saying was he wanted to know, a message do you hope readers take from my stories? When I write, I just write to take you away. Do you remember the old commercial, Calgon? Take me away, baby. That's right, Calgon, take me away. You just want to escape. I used to read when I was walking to work. Yeah. People are like, weren't you afraid? No, you're looking straight down at the book and the sidewalk. You can see around you. What is there to be, what is there to be afraid of? Then his next question was, where do you get most of your ideas? You know what? My ideas come from things I witness and see. It may sound nuts, but all of a sudden I'll see a clip of just one thing, like somebody standing there looking down. Bam! That is a title to me waiting to happen. I see certain things where... Now, what I've also noticed that I change on a dime. I started one book one way, and now that whole book is going a complete different way. So to me, it is one of those things. Now, this last question, let's see what he says. What mistakes taught you the biggest lesson? I think a lot of our mistakes, and it doesn't have to mean writing. It could be in anything. It is from not learning from your mistake. It is not paying attention to that sixth sense you have telling you what not to do or what to do. It's just kind of what it is. And I think that is, part of your learning process. Biggest lessons is to not wait. Don't sit. The more you sit, the longer everything builds, the harder it is to get done. Now, how do you handle failure or setbacks? I think we all have some failure or setback to a point, right? I mean, shit, we're only human, man. So when you think about it, how I handle it is I start a new day. I get up in the morning, I get a giant eraser, and I erase that shit. Because you know why? You can't let it keep you down. Let that shit go, like I said. Let it go. The more you keep behind you, the less in front of you your ass is going to get. That's it. So therefore, okay. Now he says, what is the weirdest habit that I have? Me? My kids will tell you I'm OCD. Everything has to be in its perfect place. Everything has to. Oh, I must drive my wife nuts, man. I tell you. I must fucking be the most pain in the ass because all of a sudden something's moved. I'm putting it back. If something ain't in the drawer, in the right drawer silverware, I'm like, what the shit's going on here with this in the other drawer? Oh yeah, I'm terrible. And my wife has a great habit of not really knowing where everything goes the same as I do. So therefore, she turns around and puts things in a different place sometimes. And then, oh yeah, it's the best. Or my kids used to fuck with me. My kids used to come into the house and change shit around, especially like my canisters on the counter and shit. Oh, I had a brother-in-law that used to turn all the angels in the bathroom around. He said nobody can be looking. I used to die about that shit. But you know what? It is what it is. What is the most embarrassing moment of my life? Well, I was at a University of Florida football game. True story. Against LSU. Home team. I was a Gator. And I went with the student side because I worked for the Olive Garden. True story, man. I worked for the Olive Garden, and that was the most staff I ever hired. 216 staff. Now, I was also there the same year when the Gainesville murders happened. Yeah, the Gainesville murders. Anybody remembers that shit? Gainesville murders, baby. 5 people were murdered within a week. 49,000 students left that area, left Gainesville within a week. I had 200 staff and I went down to less than 20 within a week. We were a skeleton crew, but yet nobody was going out to dinner either, I promise you. You don't think my wife and I were worried? But it was happening at the dorms. And the restaurant we had, the Olive Garden, is right across the street from the dorms where 2 of the murders happened. One of the gentlemen worked for me. True story, a bartender. I won't say his name because of his family, but yeah, he did work for me and it was terrible. But yeah, I was there when the Gainesville murders went down, baby. That was crazy. Most embarrassing moment, I was at the Gator game and I sat in chocolate ice cream and I was wearing orange shorts for the Gators. It looked like I shit my pants. True story. The guys I was with were dying. We were trying to wash it. We were trying and everything, and it just made it look worse. It was the most embarrassing moment. And then I ended up where they gave me a pair of Chicks orange shorts where it was like cut upward in the sides. Oh, yeah, that was the best. Mike came home. My wife was like, what the hell happened to you? And I was like, don't even ask, man. But the game was great. The party was phenomenal because right across the street in Gainesville at the University of Florida, that is Party Central. That is where all the bars are. So halftime or whenever you feel like it, you can literally walk across the street, not even 5 minutes away from the stadium, go get drinks, get plowed, get back into the stadium. Bam! That is the way it's been for history. I'm sure they kind of changed the rules now with people getting cold, getting kind of crazy. Now let's see what one of these other questions says. If you could switch lives with someone in one day, who would it be? If I could switch lives with damn, I keep smacking that damn microphone, don't I? If I could switch lives with someone for one day, probably King Charles, so I could be a king. And then I can go ahead and make all kinds of decisions quickly and then get the hell out. Actually, I really don't give a care for one day because it's one day, man. It ain't going to change your life, I promise you. What's the worst job I ever had? Worst job I ever had? Oh, shit. The worst job I ever had. Selling vacuums. Yeah, I used to have to get those little brushes and fix them and go sell them. Tried to do that shit. Oh, it was terrible. I don't think I only worked there for a week or something. I couldn't handle this shit. It was like, I can't handle this, you know. What is something you pretend to like but secretly don't? Babysit. No, I'm like, that sounds great because most guys are like, babysit, no kids. Really secretly like is, I don't like laundry, but I do it. I don't say shit. Certain things, really, I'm not one of those people to bitch about stuff. I just do it, man. I'm one of those people where, you know, I don't like something, I don't like it, but I do it. And then if I bitch about it, or you know what, I am one of those where I'll tell you I don't like it and I ain't doing it. All right. Thank you, Mr. Filet, for those interesting questions. They were actually pretty good. Actually, I will give you credit for them because there was some interesting ones. Now, Mr. Jose Ticuevo sent in question. He said, rapid fire round. All right, this is going to be a quick round then. So let's see what we can do with this. Some rapid fire round. You ready? Do I like tea or coffee? Coffee. Early bird or night owl? Early bird. Pizza or burgers? Ooh, pizza. Fiction or nonfiction? Definitely fiction. Beach or mountains? No brainer beach there. Dogs or cats? Dogs. I hate cats. Yuck. 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 Not that people who I don't hate that you have them. I just personally don't like the little feline critters. That's just me. But I love my little puppies. Okay. Netflix or YouTube? Definitely Netflix. Sweet or salty? How can I have both of these? I love sweet and salty shit. I mean, really, let's think about it. Text or calling? Definitely calling. Even though nowadays we know it's so much easier to text, it's just what it is. Yeah, I'm reading the shit out of this because I can't remember this. I have to. Book or a movie? Definitely a movie. City or small town? Definitely a small town. But I do love a city. I will say I love a city at night. I love driving through the highways. You know, I used to live in Tampa. Used to live in Orlando. I used to live in Jacksonville. I used to live in Asheville, around Asheville, North Carolina. St. Charles, South Carolina. And if you've ever had the pleasure of driving from the mountains up above down and looking down, oh, it is the most fascinating sight. When me and my daughter went to Denver, and then we were over the Rocky Mountains, I was just like a little child in heaven, like, oh, the Rocky Mountains. She's like, Dad, it's a fucking mountain. I'm like, ah, it's mountains. Until she tried to climb up one in Red Rock. That was the funniest thing. She thought she was just going to walk up the side of a little mountain. Right. She got about maybe 100 steps up, took her ass right back down. I laughed. I said, girl, you ain't going up that mountain. So that's a lot of mountain there to climb, baby. All right, let's see what we got now. It said pen or keyboard. Definitely pen. Morning or midnight. Definitely morning person. Read reviews or avoid them. Oh, I avoid the shit out of reviews. You know, I do not read reviews. I have got a lot of reviews, and I just don't read them. Why? Why? I don't need to. And what I mean by that is, let me explain okay, why do I not read a lot of my reviews? Because you know what? I really don't like to be critiqued. I take things really personal. Now, I will say this. In the last 6 months since I started my website and since I started my podcasting and stuff like this, I don't mind reviews. It's part of the game, baby. It's just part of what it is. So therefore, you know what? Reviews are reviews, right? So now we have to look at them, okay? Now, the biggest weakness, procrastinating or overworking. Woo! I am terrible at overworking. I am terrible at micromanaging. I will put that shit out there right now. I overdo my stuff. I put so many things out there that I'm kind of behind, if that makes any sense. Now, I'm the one that's rushing my ass to try to get things up. That's usually what happens. That's me. Now, here we go. Now, when you want to talk about politics, people ask me, how come I don't talk about politics? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my idea of politics. You ready? Why did the politician bring a ladder? Because he heard the polls were low. Woo! I bet you that happened in the United States a lot. All right, here we go. Now, number 2. Why did the politicians play hide and seek? Because good luck on finding the truth. Woo! Hallelujah on that. You can't find an honest politician. My father always said that. You know, back in the day. Back in the day, my father, and we're talking about the 60s and 70s, so see, times have not changed. The only true politician is a dead one. You'll never find the truth out of any of them because they will say what they have to say to get your vote. We've already seen that. What's happening in our world right now is because of politics is the media. I can't believe how far the media is going, but let's not even go there now about the media because that's just crazy. Okay, Politics is like a group projects. One person works. Everyone takes credit. Isn't that the truth? There's one person that does something right. Next thing you know, you got all kinds of people saying this and that. I like what's happening in our world. And our world is they're making everybody scared talking about Donald while everything else in the back door is coming in. You got China, you got Iran, you got everybody else in the world coming in through the back door. Wow. Meanwhile, the media is pushing Donald to make everybody afraid. That's the funny part, that people don't see right through shit. But either way, that's politics. What's a politician's favorite exercise? Is running, because they're always running from a question. Isn't that the truth? They can't be, I love the way Ford changes. Ford's changing like the wind. Next thing you know, he's conservative. Next thing you know, he's got a liberal. Next thing you know, I don't know what's next. Green? You know what? But good luck. You know what, though? He did a good job for a while. Let's hope that he somehow or another fixes shit. I don't know. I hope he doesn't screw up Crown. That's too. I hope he keeps that shit. Politics is just arguing in suits. I believe that. It's all they do is debate and confuse people, not to mention what they do. Let's see. Politics is like texting. Too many messages with no answer. Ooh, isn't that the truth? I hate that too. We were just talking about that as a group. We have a group that plays Survivor, or we have a group that does all kinds of events together. Well, we were talking about this last time. I would text a question. Well, nobody answers back. And there's like 9 people, 10 people. Like, what the frig? You can't answer a question. My son and I were talking about that. What is with people, right? But it is what it is. All right, that's enough of those ones about politics. Now you know why we don't talk about politics, because it's not one of my things that I get into. Too many heated questions. Now, the Rounchy Corner. I have chosen this week of my little stuff, the Rounchy Corner. It could be jokes, it could be bad ones. So let's see what we caught up today. Why don't blind people go skydiving? Well, because it scares the shit out of the dogs. Why do you think? That is so true. The poor little dog. Or how about back in the day when we grew up, we had Helen Keller jokes, baby. What did Helen Keller say when she fell off the cliff? I mean, dude, duh. Come on now. Why did her dog commit suicide? Because if your name was you would too. But hey, you know what? Let's see. If America is storming to Area 51 and Europeans storm to the Vatican, I guess one will take the aliens and the others will take the predators. Wow, that's a good one. Gotta like that. Oh, here's a good one too. Now, how do you milk sheep? How do you milk sheep? You bring out a new iPhone and charge $1,000. Woo! You gotta love that. You gotta love that. How many people cannot wait for a new iPhone or the newest gadget out there? I don't care if it's a phone. I don't care if it's headphones. I don't care if it's shoes. Whatever it is. Someone is blinging the new shit. And that's all there's to it. It's always been that way since the beginning of time, man. Where you been? When I was working in Toronto in the corporate office, I always had new clothes. I was one of those stylish people. Man, you crazy? I want to look good because I was good at my job. Therefore, you got to look sharp if you're going to look good and do a good job. That's all there is to it. Now, let's get back to our little stuff. How do you break up 2 blind guys fighting? Shit, someone has to yell, my money's on the guy with the knife. Woo! I love that one. That's a good one. Come on now. What do you call a stolen Tesla? An Edison. Oh, that's a good one too. How can you tell your girlfriend is getting fat? She's starting to fit into your wife's clothes. Oh, all right. That's enough Rounchy Corner. That was our Rounchy Corner for today. Now we had enough about that. Now we are going to take us to our Broncos Corner, baby, like we talk about every week. We have our Broncos Corner. Broncos ended up their season 25 with 14 wins. And then on top of the AFC improvements, however, they still need 3 separate positions. Which ones are they? They need running backs, man. Come on now. We did really good in everything. We did good in our passing. We did good with, as long as we can keep the injuries away, we're going to have a solid year this year. And I think everybody knows that. The Broncos' run game cost the trip to the Super Bowl. We know that because dudes kept on getting hurt. They didn't stay consistently. The offensive line couldn't do anything in the elements against the New England Patriots. It was sad. It was terrible, especially when it came to the snow, which we should have been better than that. But New England plays in the snow too. They needed a strong run game to help out, Stiddy, and then it never panned it out. It's not like Stiddy was doing any favors. So, but he did a couple now. He did a couple. We'll give him a couple, 2 out of 50. But we'll give him the couple. In the final game, Denver ran up 79 yards. 23 of them were from the quarterback. So, R.J. Harvey had 13 carries, 37 yards. And at the moment, he is not a reliable down-to-down back, which he was during the season. So this is where we got to take our pants up, pull them up tight, but I know Sean Payton's going to be all over that shit. He's a superb athlete and good duel, but yet in the backfield, but he still struggles with the consistency of catching the ball. So we should look at it. Sean Payton's post-game remarks was untimely, fell short against the New England Patriots, losing 10-7. No shit. Fell a little short. Their goals were right there for them to take him. Like, how can you not feel sick about this? But we're going to have to get over this because, in less than 70 days now starts the draft. So we still have a way of manipulating the draft, which we always do. Now, with the draft coming, a big-time playmaker falls right into the laps with our teams not having to do anything. That would be the best thing, for us. All we really do is need to make sure that, we get something solid. We have a solid team. The Broncos had a great year. Let's face the fact, no matter how bad we fell short at the very end, the Broncos had a really good year. We plan on having a great year next year. Let's be honest now. We know every NFL team and every out there, is charging for their team. But you know what? It is what it is, and we're just going to have to push ourselves. The more we push ourselves, and then the more everything would take place. Now, things that make us go home. Do you know the phrase, things that make us go home, can be interrupted in various ways, often associated with moments of reflection, courtesy, excitement, and here's some examples to where deeply how we sense of wonder of things that make us go home. How about curiosity? Okay, the desire to learn and explore new ideas and experiences. Okay, now let's break that shit down, okay? Things that make us go, curiosity. We're curious because we don't understand why someone is standing there doing something stupid. We don't understand why people drive out in front of you. Things that make us go home. We don't understand why a worker walks around like they got 10 pounds of lead up their ass. We don't understand why someone looks at you stupid when you ask a question. Curiosity, is the fact that curiosity killed the damn cat, if I'm not mistaken. But curiosity also, if I don't want to learn something new, I don't want to learn something new, and don't try to teach me. That's all there is to it. If I am curious because I want to, if I want a new idea, I will search a new idea. And that's what brings experiences to me, is my ideas, not me searching for a new idea. Because I can tell you right now, I don't have patience. I don't have the patience for curiosity. I don't have patience for a new idea. If I want to make sure and break shit down, I will find out. Nowadays, YouTube that shit. Do. How do you? Bap, 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 bap. And people who don't, wake the hell up. You need to smack across the back of the damn head. Now comes reflection, it says. Things that make us go home. Reflection. Yeah. Moments of memories. Yeah, reflections. You know what people do with moments of memories? They have bad fucking choices in their brain. They stay back where they should have left many years ago. How many people do you hear say, I should have left years ago? It could be a job. It could be a loved one. It could be their partner. It could be their dating partner. It could be someone they just met. It could be a parent. But you know what? I should have left years ago. Trust me, I should have left years ago too. But there, I just said it. See? But no, deep inside, it's a reflection of memories, man. And the things that make us go home is you're wondering, why are you thinking about it? Why are you thinking about somebody that, my philosophy, an X is an X for a reason. Aren't they an X? Then why the hell are they in your lives? Keep them out of your life. They're an X. Same as anything else. Reflections. Get those memories away. It's just like if someone dies. You got to store that shit. You can't keep bringing it up. It ain't going to do you no good, I promise you. Which brings us to excitement. Surprises or unexpected events that spark joy and wonder. That is true. Things that makes it go home. A surprise birthday party. I actually received a surprise birthday party this year. It was awesome for my 65th birthday. The turnout was fantastic. The party was amazing, off the chain. So to me, surprises are great. We have a lot of get-togethers. We have a lot of get-togethers, and it's pretty cool. So to me, surprises, excitement. We always have on excitement. My son enters the 48-hour film festival, and every year, and there's always surprises. There's always something new coming. There's always something different. Same as, every day I watch my grandchildren a couple days a week, and there's always something new. There's always a surprise waiting for your ass. Now let's go with inspiration. Ideas or concepts that inspire creativity of innovation. Things that make us go home. Now, we've seen people trying to jump over a pool with an ATV. We've seen people do crazy tricks for a laugh just to get the concept of inspiring creativity. And we've also watched the innovation of some idiots out there doing something really retarded. But you can't say that sometimes you have not enjoyed that shit, because sometimes it is funny and people do the wondrous things. So to me, it is what it is, right? Inspiration is what it is. Inspiration is just one step away from success. Oh, that's a good one. Inspiration is one step away from success. All right, now we are going to talk about older shit. See, as I get older, I am curious, and I want to make sure we set things straight for some of you people out there. Age doesn't determine success. I'll tell you why. The founder of KFC, Heartland David Sanders, a.k.a. Colonel Sanders, started Kentucky Fried Chicken at the age of 65. You believe that? No wonder why he looks so damn old all the time. Well, you know what? Good for him, and that damn chicken was good. Our chicken here in Canada is not good. I hate to tell you, man. I worked for KFC, by the way. I started out with 13 restaurants here. True story. There was a specification, and we were competing against Swiss Chalet. And so therefore, the specifications for a bird are 2.5 pounds up to 2 3/4 of a pound. Now, that is the weight of a bird. Now, I don't know about you, but these little Cornish hens, which they're trying to pull off as chickens, they definitely can tell the franchise owner are not the same owners. They're letting diverse people buy them, and they're not treating them the same as a lot of our business here in Niagara Falls. Mike's Steakhouse or whatever it was is a prime example. It was so damn good, and all of a sudden, ethnic group takes over, and it just sucks. Everything went to shits. Buying less quality meat and less product, you could tell. And then they don't know what they're doing. Let's just put it to you straight. I ran restaurant. It takes years of knowledge to run a restaurant, not $40,000, and I can do it. It doesn't work that way, man. It takes years of practice. And people who do give it a try, God bless you. But if you don't know what you're doing, stay the hell out of that shit. That's all there is to it. But now, Colonel Sanders at 65 years old. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm 65. I need to invent some shit. But I love my fried chicken now. Anybody who knows me knows. Weird things, fried chicken. Oh, man, there's not a state I don't go to that I buy fried chicken. If I go there, Florida, the minute I hit somewhere, Publix, I hit Piggly Wiggly, whatever it is I find, I buy some fried chicken. It doesn't matter. Walmart in the States, everybody makes a decent fried chicken. So that's me. Now, we lose a few bones along the way the older we get. I'll explain. We are born with 350 bones in our skeleton. Over time, during aging, the process, our bones fuse together, leaving us with 206 adult bones. Woo! I don't know about you, but I just almost lost 100 bones. What's going on now? Maybe that's why I can't get a boner. I'm only kidding. I don't have that issue. But maybe that's why the older men, they're losing that bone. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, seniors hold the most voting power. Woo! When it comes to seniors and voting, those 60 and over cast more ballots than any other age group put together. Woo! I believe that too. I believe it's because how we were raised. We were raised in the environment of between the 60s and 70s where actually there was morals, there was values. There was a lot of you did shit because you were just supposed to. It wasn't because it was someone told you to do it. It was just the right thing to do. And I think that's exactly what happened too, So therefore, now when it comes to age 2, creativity doesn't diminish with age. I have found I am still creative, just in a different way. I'm an artist, and when I was younger, a lot of artwork. Wow, I would artwork. I would love to write. I would love to tell stories. I couldn't do it worth shit, but I would love it, right? But I could draw. Man, I could draw anything. Now, I found when I became an adult and then I learned painting, that's when creativity came out in words. Starting 12 years ago, I started writing. And the words now I find, but I was always told you have an imagination that never stops. I agree. I agree too. So that's pretty cool, right? Now, seniors are living longer. I mean, let's be honest. Seniors are living longer, man. Instead of them saying seniors now went from 60 to now 65, now it's 70. Now they're saying 72. I mean, man, how does anybody supposed to retire? I feel sorry for people out there. Now, here's another good one. Laura Ingalls Wilder. Everybody knows Laura Ingalls. Didn't publish Little House on the Prairie in the Big Woods until she was 65 years old. And how about Millard Kaufman? Didn't publish her first book until she was 90. 90? Shit, I'm surprised it wasn't Roll Over Dead. Woo! Lord have mercy. Okay, now let's just get rid of that shit. We think we're done for the day with that older shit. But it is true. We are living longer. We are doing more. I am finding out why they say senior living is best living. Let's be honest. You don't need anything no more. So if you take care of everything in a good manner, you have more money than usually you need. And so therefore you can save, you can go on trips, you can do stuff. It's just, how you do things. This year is going to be a really good year for me by the end because everything will change. There's going to be some changes coming up and I know it will be, and I'm going to make it happen. And then when I'm done, it's going to be great. So I think that like my books, everything else is going well, like you out here listening. I just want to make you happy, baby. I just want you to have a little bit of time to think about something different. I like to get all my shout outs, ALK Artwork, baby, and Kiwi Productions, Sparkle and Soar, and then my friends, the Moody Bunch, what's up? The Gamers, what's up? And my son, what's up? What's up, y'all? I just want to say, you guys, it's been great so far. Now, this week's quote of the week is, start small, dream big, take the leap. Start small, dream big, and take the leap, baby. There you go. Please note I will provide both views if I can, and you can provide devil's advocate. It doesn't bother me. I wish you would. I will not hold back, and you shouldn't either. You can always give me your feedback at authorstephencandace@gmail.com. There you go, baby. And if there's a topic you want to discuss, baby, let me have it. I'll do it. I'm game. Now, we will chat with you soon. Holla. Yeah. Have a great day. Looking forward to our next adventure in week number 4. And DCP Talks is out.